What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, so before I get into this video, I want to give a big shout out to the brother Elijah Merritt for the $50 donation via the Cash App. Much respect to you for showing love to Too Raw for TV. Longtime subscriber, been rocking with me since the 2015 Warriors. All right, so the Cleveland Cavaliers defeated the Toronto Raptors yesterday by the final score of 122 to 108. And they were led by Spidey Mitchell, Donovan Mitchell, and Ty Jerome, who both had 26 points apiece. Ty Jerome, I believe, missed the entire season last year due to a season-ending injury. Cleveland is now 17-1. As I said before, the only loss came on the road against the Boston Celtics, a game I think they lost 120 to 117. And I think they're 10-0 at home. So this is a club that is rolling right now. They're rolling, absolutely. And they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. And that's being dominant, taking out the bad team, taking out the trash when it comes to bad or mediocre teams, and finding ways to win close ball games against marquee teams, something that the Cleveland Cavaliers could not really do in the past couple of years since Donovan Mitchell arrived in that it was a trade, I believe it was. Was it a trade or was it a free agent signing? I can't remember anymore. I think it was a trade. Someone can remind me if I'm wrong on that one, but I think it was a trade. Anyway, let's look at some of the seasonal numbers right now. The Cleveland Cavaliers lead the NBA in scoring, points per game, and 123.4 points per game. They also lead the NBA in offensive rating. They're 11th in points allowed at 111.1. Right now for the season, they have a 12.3 point differential. Now, if you know anything about the history of the NBA, having a 12.3 points per game differential now is still just 18 games of the season. That's enough of a sample size to make this declaration. That right there is about what you would see in an all-time great team, right? Like, for a point of reference, I think the 96 Bulls and the 72 Lakers won by averages, if you look at the entire season, they won by an average of over 12 points per game. The 86 Celtics, about 9 or 10 points a game. The 83 Sixers won by something similar to that margin. The 67 76ers, the 2016 Warriors. I'm not saying this is an all-time great team. I can't say that because there have also been teams that have had tremendous records, but something went wrong. Usually an injury, a significant injury. So it takes a little bit of luck too with these types of teams. But from a talent perspective, right now, from a overall talent and a performance perspective, this team is doing some tremendous rarefied things. As I said, number one offensive rating. They're number 8 in defensive rating. So you have the number one offense in the NBA and roughly a top 10 defense. That usually will, if this team doesn't suffer from any injuries, significant injuries, or long-term injuries, that's indicative of a championship level team. Now, like I said before, if they win a championship, that's great, but that doesn't mean they're going to do that. It could just be also they're just having a nice stretch, a historically great stretch right now. But I want to talk about Spidey Mitchell for a second. Although his numbers don't stand out like some of the other guys, like Giannis and Joker, his numbers aren't eye-popping, but they're sufficient enough, and his role is sufficient enough that I do think he should be in the MVP conversation, because when I was growing up, right, one of the criteria for being a league MVP is to be the best player on the best team. And I think most people would agree that although Ty Jerome has been awesome, their best overall player is Donovan Mitchell. And the Cavaliers are statistically the best team in the NBA. So by default, Donovan Mitchell should be in this conversation. He's averaging 24.4 points, 4.4 rebounds, 3.7 assists, 1.4 steals. He's shooting 47% from the floor. He's shooting 41% from downtown. And he's taking 9 3-point attempts per game. And he's shooting 83% from the free throw line. And one of the things that I think is a little bit different from Donovan Mitchell this season as opposed to other seasons, number one, he actually has a great team around him. So that is part of the equation. But number two, now I haven't seen all the games, right? I'm going to admit that I haven't seen all the games because, you know, they don't come on TV a lot. You got to have League Pass. I do have League Pass, but I haven't seen all the games. ESPN, or should I say BSPN, and Fake Sports, a.k.a. Fox Sports, they don't talk about this team a lot. You know, it's funny. They got the best record in the NBA, but they're not being talked about. But we all know that's because they're Lemedia, and they don't want to give any team credit that's moved along and have recovered from, you know, the LeBron era, just like the Miami Heat did. You know what I'm saying? It used to be an old talking point from the cult, or the LeBron cult, I should say. It used to be a talking point of theirs. Oh, when LeBron leaves franchises, they're in ruins. Michael Jordan left the Bulls in '93. They still won 55 games, but when LeBron leaves, oh man, the teams fall apart. Well, they conveniently leave out the fact that not only did LeBron leave those teams, but those teams also became, unfortunately, decimated by injuries, both times. In 2010, 2011, that Cavaliers team was decimated by injuries. Didn't Mo Williams miss like 40 or 50 or 60 games or something like that? Anderson Varejao got hurt, missed a shit load of games. I distinctly remember Miami dealing with a lot of injuries after LeBron left. But that gets completely removed from the equation. Whereas with Michael Jordan, yes, he left, but Michael Jordan also did a really great job helping to teach Scottie Pippen, teach Horace Grant, even B.J. Armstrong. He showed those guys how to win, because that's what a great player does. He's not all about himself and only trying to be out there to pad his numbers and only interested in augmenting his game. I shouldn't say augmenting his game, but wanting to pad his own numbers and want others to augment their games to fit his. Michael Jordan actually made teammates around him better, and that's why he didn't have to have a whole media campaign or have people campaign in media for him to always have all these players come join him, even though they claim he makes everybody around him better. But you get what I'm saying here. Miami was able to recover rather quickly from his departure. And just 6 years after he left, they were in the NBA Finals. Then they went to the Finals again in 2000, I believe it was 23. So Cleveland, 6 years removed right now from his departure, LeBron, they have the best record, 17-1. And this is something they're doing that they should have did when he was there. Because remember, when he was going to all those finals, 8 consecutive NBA finals, the Eastern Conference was the weakest it ever been since the 1950s. Yet they kept only winning like 50, 53, 54. And you're wondering, like, man, why is this team not? It should be them that are winning 65, 70 games. And the Warriors winning like 50-something games, and not the inverse. Well, that's because that guy, LeBron's a poor leader, and they were only coasting off of talent. And then he only, what I'm saying, put the pedal to the metal, or put foot to the pedal, I should say, when they were going up against better teams. But they were coasting. They would, beat the Warriors by 3 at home, but then lose by 27 to some bum team. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, this Cavaliers team is doing what they're supposed to be doing. But anyway, the point I was going to make about Spidey Mitchell is this. Sometimes in the past, he felt compelled to play hero ball. Right? And that's not winning basketball. Okay? That's James Harden type ball. On this team, it seems more like now Spidey is choosing his spots to be Spidey. Oftentimes the fourth quarter. And Ty Jerome's been unbelievable, man. I mean, he's been doing a tremendous Kyrie Irving impression over the last couple of this season, but especially the last three games, man. He's been unbelievable. And salute to Ty Jerome for having a tremendous game. And he talked about how it's his teammates and their effectiveness that open up the floor for him. You know what I mean? So opening things up for him, I should say. So at the end of the day, this Cavalier team, I think, is legit. If they stay healthy, they stay focused, I think they could, considering how weak the Eastern Conference is. I think they could do some big things, man. Now, their main opponents, I think, this postseason, if they stay healthy, and if all teams stay healthy, I think the main team that they'll have to focus on will be the Boston Celtics, and I still believe in the Milwaukee Bucks. Matchups wise, I think the team that actually could beat them would be, from a matchup perspective, I think the team that they would be most concerned about should be the Bucks, because they don't have any answer. I mean, no team really has an answer, but they really don't have an answer, in my opinion, for Giannis. They don't. As great as that front court is, I don't think they have an answer for Giannis Antetokounmpo. But anyway, tell me what you guys think about this. Why is the Lemedia ignoring the Cleveland Cavaliers? I mean, we know why. But why do you think they're ignoring the Cleveland Cavaliers? Is it because it'll be a bad reflection on, who? How this franchise has completely recovered from his departure, and they're playing better basketball than they ever played from a winning standpoint when he was there. And by the way, I hope they break that 66 win record. I hope they do. I hope they go at least 67-15. That would be sweet. And what would be even more sweet is if they sweep the Lakers this year and win the championship. That would be sweet for this franchise to recover in just 7 years from a humiliating final sweep at the hands of the Golden State Warriors. Wouldn't it be interesting if they actually played the Warriors in the finals and beat them? You won't see Spidey Mitchell come up there, even if they lost. You're not going to see Spidey or any of those guys come up there with a fake injury on his hand and boast about his stats and throw his teammates subliminally under the bus. But anyway, that's all I got to say about it. Tell me what you guys think.